Hey guys, welcome back. All right, so in the last lesson, we learned how to find our way around the dashboard in Tailwind and how to do a manual upload to our queue. So this lesson, we're going to show you how to use the browser extension for Tailwind. So when you first set up your account, as you're going through the setup process, it should give you a prompt to install the browser right then and there. But if you've already created your account and didn't do that, all you have to do is go into Google or your Google Chrome store if you're on Chrome, but Firefox has it as well, and just type in Tailwind Publisher and it'll come up, and then you just add it and then it'll populate right here. So let's go back over. So how do you use the browser and why is it so important? So in the last one, we did the manual pin where you have to upload it from your computer, then go find the pin that you actually put on a board and copy and paste the URL in the description back into it. So that's a lot of steps. And the whole point of this is to save you time. So you're wanting to, like how I mentioned, schedule stuff out so that it's pinning even when you're not at your desk, because the key to really doing well with Pinterest is that you are actually using the platform consistently, not just in the morning or not just at night. And so it can be really time consuming to go through and fill up each one of these spots. So one way you can do it, so this is my Pinterest account. So I'm going to go in, and there's two ways you could find this. One is, let's say I want to add some Valentine's pins to my Valentine board. All right, so I just pulled this up. I mean, you can filter it down even more. So once you're on this, once the feed comes up, you're simply going to click on your little browser up here, and it's going to turn into this. And so you're going to look, you might see some that literally have nothing written in this box here. Don't click on those, because then nothing's going to come up and you shouldn't really enter descriptions in other people's pins. So I want to do Valentine's for teachers, some decor. That's really cute. Some popcorn and these flowers. All right, so you notice when I clicked on it, it gave it this blue little outline. So those are the ones I've selected. Go to schedule. And so here's all the pins that I selected. And so basically all of these I'm going to pin to my Valentine's board. But if I had, and we'll do this in a minute, different categories, I could just enter them here. But since all of these are going to the Valentine's board, I can just put it here and it's going to put it in all that for me. And that's so much easier than going into each one. And so I'm only going to send them to that board. I could add this one to like a home decor board if I wanted to, but for this we're going to keep it simple. And so now I'm going to add it to queue, or you could hit schedule all up here. And bam, I just uploaded, what, 5 or 6 to my queue. And now again, it'll give you some more recommendations. You can totally add these, it's already got Valentine's, but if you didn't want it to go to that board, you could just add on here what board you wanted it to go to, but we're not going to do that. All right, so that's when you're searching. Once you start joining group boards, so let's go down to one of my group boards. I have a lot, by the way. So if you're looking to join some group boards, check out the ones I have, see if there's any that you like, and in each one it tells you what the requirements are and how to join them. So some of mine are very specific: productivity and organization, blogging, health and wellness. See, I have a food board here somewhere. So foodie delight, let's pin some food. So again, you have all these pins showing up in the feed. Click on the extension and pull the ones that you want. So I'm just going to pull a few of them. And vegan. Okay. Now we're going to go schedule them. All right, so I was hoping this would happen. So if you notice, this pin here doesn't have a source URL. Do not enter your own URL for one of your pins on this. That's just not cool. So just delete it. For some reason, people's pins do show up from time to time without a source URL. And so all you have to do is delete it. All right, so all of these can definitely go to one of my, I actually have a food board. So Foodie Delight is where we just took these from. So I'm going to schedule it to my food. But then I also want to add this one to my healthy board. And so, okay, so here it's telling me I've already added this to that one. So we'll go ahead and delete that. And so on this one, I need to do the interval. We'll just leave it at 4 set. So now I have this one going to 1, this one set 5 days apart to 2 different boards, and this is going to 1. And there. I just scheduled technically 4 pins because one of the pins going to post twice. So that is how you use it from Pinterest to bulk upload into your queue for your scheduling. So the other way you can use the extension, if you like to read blogs or websites, I know not everyone reading or taking this course is a blogger, but you still may look at blogs. And so if you come across one that you really like, you know, most bloggers have their pin it buttons here, or if you hover over it, it'll say save. But we're really wanting to schedule pins. So we don't want it to show up in our feed now. We want to schedule it out. So by clicking on the Tailwind browser, and let me show you something real quick. So you see this image here. Let me make this a little bit smaller. So I have this image here, finding the key to having a prosperous and successful life. And then there's just some random pictures here. All right. Now, when I click on my browser extension, here's an image. Here's an even longer image that's similar. By the way, long pins do better than, say, these short pins in a feed. But this pin would just take up way too much space on the block. So I actually have it hidden. I also have another version of that long pin hidden. And I do this because some of the share threads that I'm in, other groups where we pin each other's stuff and, you know, learn from each other, a few of them don't allow faith-based content to be shared. And so there are some that are specifically Christian groups. And so I would share this pin versus this one in that group, but I would share this one in the one that doesn't allow faith-based. So when you click on your browser extension, you may get multiple pins. These are all the pins that lead back to the page that you took it from. And so the same thing, you would simply click on it, go to schedule, and do like we did for the other one. And so it's a really great way if you're, you know, happen to be reading a blog post and you really like it and you want to save it, but you want it to go to your queue for later, you use the extension. All right, so let's go back here. We will talk about tribes in detail in the next lesson. However, you can also use the extension from your tribes. Load it up here. So let me pull one up that I know has a lot. This is one of my tribes. And so when you're in tribes, you have a requirement to share at least one pin for every pin that you leave. And so again, going in here to each one is kind of consuming. So all you have to do, just like we did in Pinterest, is click that browser extension and they're going to come up just like that. And so you click on it. I'm actually going to save that to my bride board or my wedding board here. Wedding. Bam. Just saved it to my queue. So you can see, again, Tailwind's whole function is to make your life easier and to save you time. So by using the browser extension, it releases you from having to go into each individual pin and adding each individual board. You can do it all in 1 to 2 clicks and you're done. So that is all for this lesson. I just recommend you get in there and play around with it, get comfortable with it. Be sure, if you haven't already created a Tailwind account, to add the browser extension during setup, or you can go back in and add it later. Either way, it is free. There is no fee whatsoever to install that extension. And in the next few lessons, we will be talking about how to read your analytics for both Pinterest and from Tailwind. All right, we will see you back here real soon.